Good evening everyone, my name is Venkatesh Gaikwad and today I'll be delivering a short presentation on the topics of rights and duties of individual. So what are rights? Rights are legal, social or any ethical principles. Now these principles are embodiment of freedom. These freedom embodiments defines what an individual is allowed to do according to the legal system. So if we take the example or the definition of T.H. Green, T.H. Green says that rights are powers necessary or the fulfillment of man's vocation as a moral being. So in India, if we take the example in our constitution, Part 3 of the Constitution gives us fundamental rights. Now, these fundamental rights are inevitable in nature. That is, the moment we are born into this world, we are guaranteed certain fundamental rights. These rights cannot be violated, and if they are violated, we have the right to go to courts for the enforcement of these fundamental rights. Rights are very essential for our life as it gives us power, at the same time it safeguards our conditions. So this is what rights is, and there are many different types and kinds of rights. First being the natural rights. Rights are associated with human nature and reasons. So that is right to life, that is article 21. Right to property, which has been exempted but it was essentially there before, and these are natural rights, that is nature gives us. We have a right to live in the society, which is our natural right. Next is moral rights. Rights which are based on human consciousness and based on morality and justice. Now these types of rights are those rights which are not literally backed by law, but it is something that is ought for us to follow. So we can take example, certain moral duty you have towards our society. So that moral duty becomes your right. You expect something from someone, it is your right. It is a moral right, though there is no legal backing to it, it can be a right. Third is legal rights. So if a statute or an act protects certain rights by law, it is called as your legal rights. Now rights which are recognized and enforcement by state, rights can be enforced against individual and also against government. So we take an example, if certain wrong is committed, certain murder is committed, so that is a violation of fundamental right, that is right to life, and state, against state you enforce in such matters. So that is your legal rights. Now these legal rights are defined under various type itself: civil rights, political rights and economic right. So these are the three types which are very simple in nature. That is civil rights, that is opportunity to each person, leading to a civilized society and fulfilling basic needs. So that is equal opportunity that we are talking about here. Second is the political rights. Political rights are rights by virtue of citizens to get a share in the political process and take active part in politics. So that is, it is the right to take part in politics and represent our society in the political sphere. So that is, in government everyone has a right to participate in elections, to vote is our fundamental right. Next is economics right, that is right to work, get adequate wages, get a proper environment for work, get jobs. This is our economic rights. Now in the Indian Constitution, part 3 of the Indian Constitution guarantees us 6 fundamental rights. Mainly there were 7, but now there is 6. First is right to equality, then is right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. Essentially, there was a right to property, but then it was later taken out or omitted from the constitution. These are the 6 main fundamental rights that the Indian Constitution gives its citizens. Duty. What is a duty? Duty is an obligation, that is anything we are bound to do or omit. So what is a duty? Someone's rights may be someone's duty, and someone's duty may be someone's right. These are two sides of the same coin. That is, if you are expecting something from someone, it is your right, but you are supposed to do something for someone, it is your duty. So these are two things of the same coin. Next is the fundamental duties. Now the Constitution of India gives total of 11 fundamental duties that are enriched within the Constitution itself. It is expected that these fundamental duties must be followed by the citizen of India. Now fundamental duties are not enforceable in nature, but fundamental rights are enforceable in nature. So that is the key difference between fundamental duties and fundamental rights. So 11 fundamental duties. First is to abide by the Constitution and respects its ideals and institutions. That is, the citizens of India are expected to uphold the constitutional, as it is the most important document of our entire country. Second is to cherish and follow the noble ideas that inspired the national struggle of freedom. So this second is very important because it tells us to respect that we have gained freedom due to sacrifices of many people. We should respect their sacrifices and cherish their noble ideas. Third is to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. As we know, we are a democracy. Now in a democracy, there might be huge problems as we are a very diverse country. But what we need to do is we need to protect the nation's sovereignty, as it is very important for us and it will help us to unite us together. Fourth is that to defend the country and render national services when called upon to do so. Now, in a warlike situation, if our country demands certain duty from us, it is our duty to fulfill. So, this is the fourth one. Fifth is to promote harmony and spirit of common brotherhood amongst all of the people of India, transcending religion, linguistic, regional or sanctional diversities. That is again the unity in diversity. This concept of unity in diversity is given in the fifth definition of fundamental duties. That is, in a diverse country like India, we need to uphold the principles of unity. We need to live together and maintain harmony. Sixth is to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. And seventh is to preserve the rich heritage of the country's composite culture. So the sixth duty is that we need to always respect women despite there are many crimes committed in the society. Recently, the RGK incidents, it is very shameful moment for all of us that we are facing is right now, but it is our duty to protect the dignity of women and safeguard them. In a diverse country like India, it is our duty, our moral responsibility to protect the dignity of women. Seventh is to value and preserve rich heritage and culture of our country. As again the same point, diverse country. India is a diverse country and it is our duty to promote the rich heritage of our composite culture. We have various cultures in our country and it is our duty to promote and protect these diverse cultures. Eight is to protect and improve the natural environment, including forest, lakes, rivers and wildlife. As we know the concept of sustainable development, that is to preserve the nature, but at the same time we are supposed to do development. Now in the name of development, we are not supposed to entirely cut down forest. It is our duty to protect the wildlife and nature and preserve it for the future generations. Ninth one is to develop a scientific temper, humanism and spirit of inquiry and reform. That is to indulge in activities that will promote humanism and scientific activities. 10th is to strive towards excellence in all of the spheres of individual and collective activity, so that the nation's constantly rising to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. Now, as a citizen of India, it must be our duty. It is a proud moment for us that we are a developing country, and if we can contribute towards this development, it will be a huge honorable moment for us. So it is our duty to strive towards excellence, move daily towards our goals, work daily for our goals to accomplish, and strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual. 11th is to provide opportunities for education to his child or ward between the ages of 6 to 14. So that is, education is the key for a developed nation. If a country is educated, it is developed. We are a developing country and there is a lack of education in certain areas. We need to promote that young children get education regarding society and regarding getting jobs. So it is our duty to promote right to education to small children from ages 6 to 14. And with this, I have shortly explained and presented on the topic of rights and duties of individual. Thank you.